Hello, Mr. Nick. How are you today?
Good. Yourself, Casey? How are you doing?
Well, the price of Bitcoin's at 118,000 American cuck bucks. So
There
I'm
you
pretty
go.
happy.
That's right. Awesome. Yeah. Bought some more today.
Yeah, been watching podcasts all day, trying to catch up on the news and see what's going on in the world of Bitcoin, which never seems to be not entertaining. It's learning about lending and security and MSTR and all the fun facts. But I thought we'd start off today with something a little bit different because it's been on my mind. But it's more the spiritual side of Bitcoin.
Okay. Give her. I'm not overly familiar with that side, but you shoot and I'll pitch.
Yeah, no worries. I just thought that I don't know. I think for many people it's about dollar go up and it's about the money and it's about getting your freedom. But I think there's something more on the spiritual side, which is it has to do with health, I think. It has to do with what we eat. It has to do with how we raise our children. It has to do with how we interact with AI. It has to do with what we, do for a career. I mean, maybe let's start there. I think you've got an interesting background when it comes to um, what you've done in your professional career versus what you want to do in your next career. And I think that's just like an interesting thing to talk about. I mean, I just recently got into the Bitcoin business. Not that it's a business, but I do sell Bitcoin over OTC. I've never, I was a car salesman. I was in the car business for 25 years and now I'm selling Bitcoin. And my God, I got to tell you, it's so much more rewarding to sell something that is not going to depreciate 20% when they leave the lot. And I mean, I feel like I'm selling freedom and I'm selling a dream. And I mean, that helps me sleep at night and it makes me feel better about what I do on a day-to-day basis. So I think it's just interesting to talk about like where we want our Bitcoin journey to go once we put in, like you and I have put in our 10,000, 15,000 hours in. But now like what's next, right? Like what's that next step? And I mean, I know you're working on some fun stuff and you're part of the Bitcoin
Yeah.
communities. Tell me about your journey, I guess.
Yeah. So I mean, well, for the last 15 years, I've been working in the oil field in Alberta, and currently work at a major oil company. And I mean, the job pays the bills, and that's kind of how it's the golden handcuffs, right? That's pretty typical in my line of work. And truthfully, I like aspects of the job and whatnot, but I think it's run its course for me. I'll say I've got what I kind of want out of it for the most part. Now it's there to pay the bills until I get my footing in the Bitcoin community a little more. And as you kind of alluded to, I am working on a project that'll be released at a later date. But yeah, once the gears are rolling a little bit more in the Bitcoin space, and I think maybe the reason I've been in Bitcoin about 5 years now, and I think a little bit of the reason and maybe I regret this a bit, slow to get into the Bitcoin ecosystem, so to speak, instead of just buying Bitcoin, was because I didn't get out there. I didn't go to meetups and whatnot for the first 3 years of my Bitcoin journey. I was just like, stack at home, learn and learn. And I did learn lots. I mean, probably arguably the best way to learn is at home, reading books and listening to podcasts and whatnot. But there is another dimension to Bitcoin once you get out into the community and buy things person to peer to peer with Bitcoin in your own community, and just support the community by coming out. And that's a big push that I'm trying to personally I guess develop over the next number of years in Edmonton here as well.
So silly question for you, but I think I ask most of my Bitcoin friends this, but like now that you've been in it for a while, you've put your time in, like how does it change your day-to-day spending?
I probably still spend way too much, I'm not gonna lie, but I've always been a saver, Casey, for the most part, and I would just say I mean I do spend. I just showed you a big computer screen I bought,
That's what works.
but I do typically have a saving mentality. My wife even more so. She doesn't spend a cent, which is rare. But I think, yeah, I mean, it depends on everybody's situation. I like
But
to
like
chat.
I know we've both downloaded Opportunity Costs, which is a
Yeah,
plugin
yeah, yeah, that's
that
right.
is absolutely phenomenal, made by Marty
Yeah, Marty.
from TFTC. But I mean, I've been using it now maybe for 2 weeks, I think, since you
Mhm.
told me about it, and I downloaded it as a plugin. And now when I log into my like even my investment account or
That's awesome.
my email or
On
my
your bank account site, you can see the sats. It's great.
it actually has changed the way I think about
Mhm.
Bitcoin because I'm like, it's interesting to look at, we use the Canadian dollar, right? We live in Canada, and how it even is different than potentially the American dollar and the Satoshi value, and versus like right now, Bitcoin hasn't hit an all-time high in Australia from I think what I heard recently, but it's Bitcoin's at an all-time high in Canada. Bitcoin's at an all-time high in America, but yet Bitcoin's not at an all-time high in other countries necessarily, which I think is a fascinating mathematical
Well,
journey to think
the
about.
the big one on the bull run here is likely gold, right? It isn't at all-time high in gold yet.
Yeah, yeah,
And when I mean, that's kind of the next. I mean,
we're close. From what I heard, we're just at
yeah,
like
I have
resistance or some TA stuff.
I haven't paid attention. Now, just on the opportunity cost thing, touching on that a second, you did switch it to Canadian dollars, correct? Because if it automatically defaults to US on your Sats.
I
So
did not do that.
yeah,
So
you
I'll do that.
should check that because I was like looking at this, I'm like, oh, this is wrong. So then I went in the settings, you can switch it to Canadian dollars.
Okay,
Anyhow,
so
have a look at it. Yeah.
yeah, no, no, I'll take a peek. But yeah, no, I just thought, part of our podcast every week could be, talking about the spiritual side because I think for me, it's changed the way I eat. It's changed the way I parent. I've got two young boys who are almost teenagers now, or basically teenagers. But I think that's even a topic on its own. I know we both have kids, which is pretty cool. But like how we get this message across that there is going to be a new system, which will be Bitcoin, that they're going to live in. And I mean, the quicker we teach them now and the faster that we get them wallets and let them look at the charts and understand that there's only 21 million and watching Tuttle Twins. I think, for those of you that are watching today that don't watch Tuttle Twins, if you have kids, go to YouTube and type in Tuttle Twins. And it's one of the best Bitcoin cartoon slash educational, and my kids love it, and they're way past cartoons, but they love the Tuttle Twins. I know that you read book. I don't know. You've got some books, I think.
Yeah, I have a couple from, oh, what's that? What's that site now? Shamry? Is that the site? Or is that the,
Okay.
yeah, I think that's the site. Yeah. Yeah. So I have a couple books. My daughter's 4, so she's at the age of, yeah, she reads, and we read a lot to her, just everything. So, and we always have. So, I think that's pretty important. But as far as, yeah, her attention span isn't there yet for, you're right, Tuttle Twins would be fine. And I have watched a few times with her, not a ton, but she doesn't have the attention span to really uh, yeah,
Actually, four. Four is pretty
yeah,
young.
yeah. Before it's pretty young for to really get into this. I am starting to do like a kind of a couple coins or yeah, I know.
Okay, coin.
Sats are a little hard for people to visualize, so I had to revert back to, it hurt a little bit, but they're coins in just to denominate something, some value for the job she does around the house now. So
So you're giving
yeah.
her satoshis?
Well, I'm doing. I have a bunch of quarters, so I'm using those as a just a value, like a value thing, and then from there, I mean, whatever. We haven't really decided how much each quarter is going to end up being. Whatever.
No,
That's
no,
that's
that's
that's not really the point. It's just more of a way to get them interested in some value. Anyhow,
yeah. No, I think it's honestly, I think one of the most important things that we as Bitcoiners can do is teach our children.
yeah.
And
Oh yeah.
have them be leaders in the community or whatever you want to say, but like where they can, I'll tell you an interesting story about one of my sons is that we obviously have an investment account in the fiat world because that's just the way it's set up, where he actually gets to visit with his advisor because they go on different ski trips and things, and she just happens to be there, which is it
Okay.
is what it is. But she's telling him that you're doing great in your RESP account, that you're getting 12%. It's amazing. Like we're in the right mutual funds and the right accounts and we're in the right stocks. And he's like, 12%. That's not good enough. Like that's not even keeping up with inflation. And like it's literally this is like a 13 and a
Yeah.
half year old kid who's looking me straight in the face going like, Dad, maybe we could just talk to her and like have it go into Bitcoin, or or maybe another alternative to Bitcoin, maybe an ETF, he's saying. And I'm like, wow. And the amount of information that they're getting, like, obviously my kids are older than yours, but it's good to talk about kids, I think, because I think that's part of the reason we Bitcoin is
Yeah,
for our
100%. Yeah.
our children. I think that's a whole, you know what, maybe I'll get to that part next. But just the fact that they can start cluing in. And I mean, I've been preaching Bitcoin for over 5 years now to them, and they've had to, subconsciously listen to the silly videos that I'm listening to every day. And
Yeah.
I put them in front of Jack Mahler's and say, okay, like this is the video you have to watch. Listen to this. His last video from Prague was probably the best video I've ever watched,
Yeah.
which maybe
Very.
I'll put that in the show notes as one of the top links because I need to get better at that. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
go
we
ahead.
need to put that video on our website too, actually, on the warehouse website. I was meaning to do that over the next, past week or two here, but I just haven't had a chance.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I actually heard something interesting from Bitcoin Bram today, which is Bitcoin for millennials. But he's got a website called Start with Bitcoin,
Mhm.
and he just put like the top 5 best videos, which are
Okay.
amazing. They're all amazing. I can vouch for them. It's only 4 hours to listen to, but it's sometimes maybe that's like an easier link to send to somebody to help them to help orange pill them or get them on their journey.
Yeah.
Is that 4 hours is a lot less than just sending the Sailor series, or I'm still trying to figure it out like you are. Is like, what's that best first video? I mean, I'm wearing this hat for a reason. I think this is one of the best first videos ever to start with. And I mean, we've got a friend that, what's the problem? I mean, that's
That's a good one. That's really good. Yeah.
an amazing video, but tough sometimes trying to orange pill people. I don't know where you're at right now with that, but I'm going through struggles.
My latest thought on that was just recently was actually AI. I'm getting more into the AI sphere here and learning about it and using it for my upcoming project here. And I think we have one buddy. Me and Casey have a buddy that mutual friend in the Bitcoin sphere that he does a lot with AI videos and whatnot. And I was thinking like I gotta look into it and see how easy it is because you could customize it for each friend. You could probably customize it, and I mean, even if it costs you $5, whatever. I mean, a couple bucks or whatever to make a minute clip. But if it targets them in particular, because we all know our friends, what they're like. I have this friend that is big into vehicles, and I mean, he gets Bitcoin to a degree, but he doesn't buy Bitcoin, right? So you can only understand it so much if you're not buying it, right?
Wow, exactly.
But anyhow, I was thinking about it, and it'll be funny if he watches this and hears this. But anyhow,
That's why we're doing the podcast. You can send
but
it to them.
anyhow, I'm thinking of, a person like that, you could tailor AI video towards that just like kind of hits their main, interests. Because the problem is we all come to Bitcoin in our own way. We all have our own interests. And if somebody has a video about Bitcoin and knitting, like it isn't going to be my thing, right? Like I just probably won't even watch it, right? But if you have a video on Bitcoin and investing or this or that or the next thing, maybe woodworking or something like that. In my past life, I would have been interested in more so, right? Like so, you can I guess tailor things maybe a bit more.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. Speaking of, I know this is going to come out of the left side here, but I know I dropped a text to you, but humanity's last exam. I don't know if you studied up on that. I can speak to it if not, but
Nope, sorry, that was one that I've been
that's okay.
super super busy.
I think
So,
we should have an AI segment in each
yeah,
one of our
yeah,
podcasts because I think it'd
awesome,
be crazy not to. And we
yeah,
did with our first one. But in order to measure all the chat GBT or Grok or whichever AI that you're using, they needed a way to score them,
yeah,
right? Like one being the best, like one being the
yeah. I know
worst,
where you're going with
100
this.
being the best. So what they did is they created an exam of 2,500 questions, to which I've heard 2 of the questions on a podcast. Peter Diamandis,
Yeah, I watched that
the
one. Yeah,
Moonshot one, which is an amazing
it
podcast if
is.
anybody
Moonshots
wants
is awesome. Yeah.
to learn about AI. But these questions are so complex, and what they are, they're in several different categories. So you might have like finance, history, mathematics, English literature, philosophy, biology, all of these different topics. Okay. So there's 2,500 questions. And they were testing Grok versus basically ChatGPT and Gemini and some others. And it's impressive to see how well, and I'm not, promoting Grok by any stretch of the imagination. I'm trying to explain the exam, but Grok scored so much higher versus all of the other ones, because basically it's at the level where Grok is got a PhD doctorate level education in every subject in the world. So where a normal human, or not a normal human, the smartest human on the in the planet might score 5% on one category. So if they were like a PhD in philosophy, let's say, they would score 5%. The amount better that, so this is called humanity's last exam, and this is how they judge things. And
Oh,
I thought it was very interesting to learn that, like, these questions, I listened to them and I understood 2 words out of 20 words. It's like the spin rate equation of the G2 hole of the planetary Jupiter on a spin axis of Y. Like, I didn't understand anything. And that's how smart our AI is now. So I'm very worried right now for our, like, we do both have children, and our kids are going to have kids, and what are they going to do?
I've had this conversation with my uncle. He came up to Edmonton here just the other day, and I had this conversation with my brother just today, I think, on over the phone. I mean, briefly, but I don't look at it as, I mean, I don't look at it the same way as I was worried 2 years ago too. I went through a few months where I was like, oh, this is not good. This is not good. So, I mean, for better or worse, one thing I will say, we're past the point of no return on it. I mean, I think that is a foregone conclusion. We're past the point. There's no stopping AI. If the U.S. shuts AI down, China is not shutting it down. Sorry, and vice versa. I mean, the we can't get the world can't get on board to you know agree on anything. I doubt we'll agreeing on shutting down AI. So there's that. But on the positive side, I don't think, from listening to that Peter DM on this and whatnot, and a lot of those techie people on his podcast, I've listened to a couple episodes where they've talked about. I mean, that's all they talk about, but pretty much. But and it's been kind of enlightening. Like one of the guys, and I don't know, I can't remember the guy's name who said it, but basically, like 95% of the AIs in the world are programmed by good actors, let's say, right? Those will in turn create good AIs. AIs for the betterment of humanity, for the betterment of the world. And are you going to have a percentage that's bad, 5%, couple percent, whatever it is? Possibly, likely, probably. But the technology and the good AIs will overshadow at least this was his theory, the technology and the good AIs will overshadow the bad. And as of now, humans could probably shut down AI if everything went perfectly, but a year from now, that's not going to be the case anymore. Well, maybe 2 years from now, whatever. I'm in a short amount of time, and the reality of it is we have to rely actually on, and this is the key point, we have to rely on AI to keep AI in check because humans can't, and that's just the reality of it. I mean, that's what I believe, and I think that we have enough actors. I mean, I don't hold Elon on the pedestal that some people might, but I think he's overall a decent guy. And I would say that he's probably trying to do what's right for the world in AI. Is he gonna hit everything? I doubt that, but hopefully it's all hope Grok. And here's an interesting point about Grok and Elon. So Grok started 28 months ago.
Yeah.
28 months ago. And all these other ones with Google, I never looked into how long they've been going, but I imagine roughly 10 years now. I mean, I imagine the Googles and the whatnot have been Microsoft. Those companies have been looking into this stuff, and OpenAI and whatnot have been going about 10 years, roughly, give or take. Elon Musk with Grok, because of the computing power he has purchased and the team he has behind it, has surpassed them all as of this moment right now. Surpassed them all.
That's
That
what
is
200,000 H100s
100s, yeah. He
will
is
do.
age 200s now,
Was
I
it
think.
200?
Yeah, I think he has some 200s now too.
Oh wow. Yeah, no,
Yeah,
I've heard
yeah,
I've studied this
yeah.
quite a
Oh,
bit,
okay.
and it's no, you're right though. Like, it's it's impressive.
So,
Even all of them said, like, this can't be done, and he did it in
yeah,
18 months from what I heard.
I've said it on numerous things with Elon, and I'm not a Tesla investor, and I never have been, but I would never, ever bet against Elon, ever,
No.
on anything. If he says he's doing something, I'd never bet against him. I might not bet for him, but I'm not betting against him.
No, no, and you know what? This is an interesting topic because, in my opinion, I know we spoke about this last time, but like AI and Bitcoin, I think are very correlated.
Oh yeah.
I think the only way that we're going to be able to successfully use like robots and Teslas and autonomous agents and different things in the future is that they're not going to be able to work in the fiat world. Like it is impossible. Like they just can't. I can't. This AI can't give this AI value in fiat, but this AI can give this AI value in satoshis. And so I think what's going to happen from the podcasts I've listened to is that we're going to power AI with satoshis. And so let's say if I wanted my robot that I have over here in a year from now, my Tesla bot or my Optimus or whatever you want to call it, if I want it to do the laundry and all of those things, it'll do it for me. But if it needs to now connect with a different, let's say if it connects with your Optimus, right? And it's going to try and say, hey, let's work on the podcast edits, for example. Okay. Because they're
Yeah.
going to have the logins to our podcast. They're going to have this clip
Can't
and they're going to
wait.
say, let's make it better that my AI could give your AI 10 Satoshis and literally say, like, clip this, clip this, clip this, because I think this will make it better. And then your AI will say to my AI, okay, well, no, I disagree. I think this and this and this will be better because your AI is different than my AI. It's based off of you, and it'll start understanding how you work and your thought process, and your thought process is different than mine. So our AIs will have to exchange value between each other in order to create an end product, or maybe it's to bake a cake. It could be anything. But I don't think enough people talk about how AI and Bitcoin will merge together.
Now, on this Bitcoin fiat thing with AI, why are you saying that AI can't use fiat? Is it just purely because the cost of transmission is high?
No, that's one thing. But the most important thing is that there's no settlement. Like if I were to e-transfer you $10 right now from my ATB account to your BMO account, we'll just pretend,
Yeah, sure.
right? Like that $10, does it ever really get to you?
I know.
None of us know. I mean, I literally
The
had this
number
conversation.
changes in my bank account, but yeah, that's
Yeah,
the actual dollars. Well, they're created of nothing,
I
so
don't
they
know.
mean
Nobody
nothing. So
knows.
yeah,
So I'll tell you an interesting story because I went through this at work the other day, but we deposit a lot of checks because people are buying Bitcoin. So some of them are 10,000, some of them are 100,000, some of them are 150,000. Some of them are handwritten, some of them are bank drafts, and that's the way we get the money to order to help our customers buy Bitcoin. I couldn't tell you how the bank decides to clear funds from a bank transfer for $100,000 for one customer to a handwritten check. How is a handwritten check going to clear faster than a bank transfer? This makes, like, I literally want to talk. I want to find somebody to come onto the podcast and explain this to us. Like, how do they deposit these funds? Because it makes zero sense. Like, it's not logical. They just pick random days. And I don't even know how the funds move.
I'm writing this down. I'm gonna look into this. This is gonna be
Okay,
interesting.
please do. Please use Grok on heavy research mode for $300 a month to
Okay,
like.
I'm not that rich, but I will.
I know I'm messing with you, but like it literally is like an actual question I have for anybody, and so far, not even the bankers when I ask them can answer it. But when we go to deposit a check, it literally just says, "Okay, we're gonna clear this one on July 25th," and then the next one could be same day. Oh, we're gonna clear this one on July 23rd. I'm like, what the fuck's the difference? Like, how does a check clear?
You know, this is an interesting story on banks. My one coworker, my one buddy, he banks with Simple. I didn't even know they were a bank. I knew they did trading
They're a
and
bank
whatnot,
bank?
but they're a bank. He does everything. He doesn't have a regular checking account with any other bank.
Oh, interesting.
So he deposits. Anyhow, I didn't know that, but
No,
the
no,
funny thing is, my company pays out the our checks, like our direct deposits, every Tuesday morning, roughly 2 a.m. I mean, that's roughly give or take a couple hours, right?
okay.
He gets his with Simple 7 p.m. Monday evening. I That one is I'm lost on that, man. That's a different one because I've never ever heard of that. Be like he was just telling me the other day.
Because
I'm
you get
like,
yours
what?
on Wednesday
No,
night.
no, Tuesday morning. So it's not long. Like it's like 6, 7 hours difference.
So, but
But
somebody hits the process button.
well, and
But he's already got his?
he always gets his on, like, it's a big company, right? It's a big multi
No, I know, I get that.
company.
Yeah.
So they must like have it set. So I don't know what they do. I shouldn't assume. I have no flipping clue what they do, but
Listen,
it's
I
odd
think
that the traditional banks like Scotia, I bank with Scotia Bank. That's my, unfortunately.
docs.
Yeah, fair. That's fair. But he banks with Well Simple. Like Well Simple's he's getting his money 6 hours ahead of me, 6 to 8 hours ahead of me. Like that's interesting. Like it's just weird, right? It's just I don't know.
No, I would honestly love to go down the rabbit
Yeah,
hole
that's a good idea.
of learning now that we've done the whole Bitcoin. I would love to go down the rabbit hole of like how the normal financial system works. That's something I haven't done.
Oh,
And
really?
maybe I should.
Have
I don't know.
but you know, like the macro side of it, like how do you know how money's
Oh,
printed? And
yeah.
yeah, okay.
But I don't
Yeah,
understand
yeah.
how when your company pays you, like what actually happens when that money
Oh,
comes
I
out
see.
of their account and magically into your account. Like clearly the banks didn't transfer the money. Like there wasn't a guy like driving from your
Oh no,
job,
no, but
like your bank account over to the other one.
no. Well, okay,
We're going down a
okay,
rabbit hole here, bro.
okay. But Casey, 90% of probably a little lower than, maybe not much lower than that. 95% of money in the fiat system is digital. You know that, right?
Obviously, yes.
Yeah.
But like
So then it's doesn't you don't have to transfer a truck
I
from
get that.
yeah,
I
okay.
get
Yeah,
that. But
sorry.
explain how they do it then. If you actually know, which I know you don't.
I
And now I'm just being a dick. Like explain how it
Yeah, no,
works
no.
on the
I've
ledger.
well, every bank has their own ledger, and then it's just I don't know exactly. Yeah,
So does every bank have
let's
a ledger with every other bank where it's like, okay, like like the money from your
yeah,
company came from Service Credit Union,
yeah,
let's say,
sure, yeah.
and went to Royal. I don't know. It's
Is there yeah,
it's
there's got to
shit.
be. That's an interesting. Yeah, it's definitely interesting. Do I know that? No, I don't. I have ideas where it might be, but I don't know for sure, and I'm not gonna say I something when I'm not 100% sure.
I guess we got to circle, I guess, back to Bitcoin.
But Bitcoin, we know what happens.
Final settlement.
I transfer you money, and when you receive it, you receive or the meme pool receives the thing. You get a notification. It's in the meme pool, and then as soon as the miners pick it up to in a block, then as soon as one block is done, it's pretty much yours. Best practice is 6 blocks, but I mean 2 blocks is lots.
Speaking of which, I think on Friday, wow, the difference between like morning transactions, because we send Bitcoin quite often, it was like hours and then to minutes between the difference between Friday morning and Friday afternoon, because we sent some transactions that didn't settle that didn't get in a block for some reason. And I even experienced that myself doing a transaction from like Phoenix to ShakePay, where I actually had to bump up the
Yeah.
sats for VByte from one or like from 3 sats for VByte to like I almost had to go to like 13,
Yeah.
which I still have to dig into more, and I have to ask our smart friend why why that happened. But it was very frustrating. Not in a bad way. It was just frustrating because I didn't understand why.
Well, the V bytes is all about like if you're obviously there's only so many transactions that can fit in a block, and if you don't, I mean the miners are gonna they're for profit. They have their incentives, and if you're not high enough in transactions, they're going to take the higher transactions. So then you get kicked out to the next block, and possibly the next block, and possibly 5, 6, 10, couple hours could be right, whatever it may
Mhm.
be, until the fees come down a little bit. So that's what was happening there, from my understanding.
Yeah, no, that's completely right. I'm just gonna try something real quick and hit the pause button because I just want to. Yeah, so bringing up the next topic, I think might be like, what the fuck happened this week in the United States of America with regards to crypto week?
Well, the big news that hit the airways this week was the U.S. supposedly doesn't have 200,000, roughly 200,000 coins. So
Yeah.
everybody that was saying Germany's the stupidest country on earth for selling a 50,000, we got a new leader.
We got a new leader on that board. Yeah, they sold, I think well, from my understanding, and I mean, you can correct me if I'm These are just estimates, but I thought they had about 200,000 coins.
Roughly, yeah.
Yeah. And it came out in the news that they had about 28,748 is the number I remember out of my
Okay,
weird monkey
wow.
brain.
That is
Yeah, I know. I'm weird.
pretty exact.
Which means that somehow, and I don't know if the US Marshal Service is the best at, I mean, that's where this information came from. Are they actually capable of doing it? But I know that David Bailey spent $10,000 on the internet to get somebody to quantify the numbers to like double check them, and supposedly it's checked out. Which is interesting. He put
I
like
don't know.
he put a bounty out for somebody to figure out like how many coins do they actually still have in the wallet, which is cool. But yeah, they sold
Well,
off. I mean, out of 30,000, out of 200,000. I mean, that's like 85% of their coins.
so David Bailey got somebody to check him, and out of that wallet, they actually sold 171,000 or whatever it was.
No, they did a full audit of all the wallets, Bitfinex, and
Yeah,
like
yeah,
all
sure.
the different ones that they've seized over the years. Like it's a
Yeah.
whole big thing on Twitter. You can
Okay.
actually see all the wallet addresses
Oh, okay.
and where they left. It's weird. I looked at it and it didn't fully make sense, but I was like, when did they start selling them? Like that's
Well,
my question is like,
who,
did they sell them at
who
80, at 60, at 50, at 40?
I
I
honestly
mean,
don't think like it doesn't matter, but I mean, who knows who really cares? It's just comical, man. Like these it just proves like
the clown.
politics is a shit show, man. Like seriously. It is
Which
just
means like if they pass the Bitcoin like act, the strategic reserve, which I think they are close to doing, like they haven't physically said that they are going to start buying Bitcoin, but I think we're like, I mean, if I wanted to make a bet with you, maybe we
yeah.
should make
Yeah.
a 5,000 Satoshi bet.
Let's do it.
I find I saw you had your book. Maybe you can write it down.
Yeah, sure.
July, what are we on? July something here? July 19. Let's make this bet.
July 18th. Yeah, gotcha. What are we betting?
Over under basically is when do you think the US will start to announce that they're actively buying Bitcoin on the balance sheet?
Keep buying. Now, does this matter how they buy it? Does this matter if they're selling gold for it, or if they're
Yeah,
does
I
it
don't
that
care.
doesn't
They're
matter
buying
how
Bitcoin.
they're doesn't matter how
Buying Bitcoin.
they're acquiring. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. No,
they're
that's
buying Bitcoin
important.
because they have to
Important.
do it
Back.
in what's the word they use?
Neutral. Yeah, yeah. Okay. Neutral way. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what would be a fair thing there. I don't think like
I'll call it. I'll
yeah,
call it.
okay, you give me a date and
I'll give you a date. You can go over under
yeah, sure.
by the end of August.
Oh, no. No. I'm picking a no on that.
I'll go
A
under.
hard no on that.
I'll go under. You go over,
So they
right? So
have to announce it by end of August. Okay.
correct. Yeah, 5,000 Satoshis. I'll take you on that one. Also, while we're making little small fun fact wagers, I think, being that this is our second podcast, price of Bitcoin on December 3rd, 11:59 before 2026 comes in. Nick, you're on the spot. Go.
Are you getting some of your sats back from our other friend that you may have bet? Is that what your mission is here?
Well, I'm going to have so many extra free sats from our other friends that will probably be on the show soon. He'll
Oh,
be on the show soon.
I love it. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
And then we can
Uh,
tell who our friend is.
by end of year this year,
December 31st, 11:59. Tell me the price.
and you're going.
Just tell me the price.
Okay,
Your
okay,
price
okay.
versus my price.
Oh, shoot. I'm gonna say conservative. I'm going slight bit conservative on this. I'm gonna say 225.
Oh, that was so close to what I was thinking. Okay, write it down. Keep that book close. Yeah, I was gonna say 235.
Okay, so you're going. So let's say 230. I get under. You get over. Is that fair? 30, and that's 5,000 again.
Yeah. It's a total of 10,000 Satoshis. And for any of the kids out there, if you can calculate how much 10,000 Satoshis is in Canadian dollars, just leave it in the comments and we'll send you 1,000 Satoshis. One of my favorite podcasters does that all.
Yeah. Which one's that?
I'm not going to say it.
Oh, okay. Fair.
He's not a full Bitcoin maxi, so I can't say it.
Oh,
He's just somebody I like to listen to about the normal news.
oh, okay. No, fair.
So what did you think about? Did you hear Trump say that the Genius Act was named
Yeah, it's
after him?
path.
No,
What
but
really?
it was named after him.
He's awesome.
He did.
He
He did.
is the
He
funniest
did.
guy, man. He is
Yeah.
hilarious.
Yeah.
he is just hilarious.
He did say
The
that. I
stupid shit
swear to
that
God.
comes out of his mouth. He's a comedy man. I just take it as strict comedy pretty much now. And I mean, to be fair, he has done a lot of good for Bitcoin, and I would say he's a hard net positive for Bitcoin in that the role as president. So can't really complain. But some of the other stupid shit he's been doing,
Yeah.
unfortunately,
No, I'm not
pisses
a,
me off. But
I don't think either one of us are big political guys. We're more Bitcoiners than anything, but
definitely moved that way in the last year or two here. Yeah, I've definitely went from caring about politics to not giving too many.
yeah, I don't give a fuck.
I I think I mean I was just saying like after the whole Epstein fiasco and whatnot, I was like, you know what? I think I'm just done voting too. I mean, I used to vote because then my whole theory was at least then you can complain if you vote. But you know what? I can complain anyhow.
There's two things we can vote with: our money
Yeah,
and our feet.
that's right.
And
Yeah,
I think that's the best thing to stick to is voting with your feet and your money. And if you're upset with the current system, just buy Bitcoin.
yeah,
If you're upset with the current system, move to El Salvador. I mean, that's my end goal is to get to a country that is not necessarily like this one. Not to say anything bad about this one. We live in Canada, clearly, but I definitely want to live in somewhere that's got a little bit more sun. And
yeah. That would be awesome.
I don't know if you did. Did you ever listen to that Jack Cruise? No, it was quite something. Just about we need to get out and touch grass more as Bitcoiners.
Yeah.
Like get out every morning in the sun, let the sun rays hit you, let that vitamin D sink in, and we'll be healthier people. And get off your phones. And I don't know. That's something that I'm very passionate about.
Yeah.
Is I actually went out last night. I haven't told you this yet, but I'll tell you a quick story. So I went out last night. Um, where I work downstairs for like a dinner, and there was like a big night going on, and there was a whole bunch of people, and it was like the big bar, and I haven't been to a bar in a while. I got to know our waitress quite well over the night, and I simply just asked her. I said like, I watch Bitcoin videos 10 hours a day. Like, what do you do? You're not going to believe the answer. You're
This will be good.
and I've this is not the first person that I've heard this from. This is like that area of like 18 to 30, whatever. It doesn't matter the age. It's whatever. They actually just watch other famous people's lives.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, I know that. Yeah, that's
You knew that. I
well,
didn't
I
know this.
know that's a common.
No, no, but they'll watch it for 8 to 10 hours. Other people.
Oh, okay, that's a bit of extreme. I
No, no,
disagree.
this is like a true story, bro. Like, I'm not even joking you.
So most people like, well, like, or this isn't uncommon. This is like
This
a
is like a total normal thing for people between the ages of, let's call it like 16 to 30. That's what I know. Okay. I've talked to several of them and I've watched it happen. And they literally just watch Instagram influencers or whatever you want to call them, or YouTubers or things where they're just talking about famous people and their opinions of Justin Bieber's life, Matthew McConaughey, or I don't know the people because I don't
yeah,
follow them.
because we don't
I only
follow.
watch Bitcoin videos, so I don't fucking know. But like, this is actually a real thing, Nick. Like, I'm not shitting you. Like, people spend 8 to 10 hours a day just watching other people's lives. And I'm like, can you imagine if you just could help them like take half of that out and just say, okay, good. If that's what you like to do, awesome. Now just watch Michael Saylor for 4 hours a day.
Yeah, like
The best. But like, watch Safedine, watch Preston, watch Natalie, watch any of our people.
it comes down to on this is it comes down to me people aren't interested in what we're interested in to a large degree. We're Bitcoiners, but I mean we're inherently interested in aspect of Bitcoin. Now Bitcoin does touch everything, does touch every like most 95% of the areas of your life it will affect in some way or shape or form, I would say. So, but there are people that inherently have to you have to get Bitcoin and you have to somehow relate it back to those people and they have to relate it to something in their lives. And I don't a person like that watches 8 or 10 hours of I'll put my filter on not so great content. Like it's just that would be a hard one to maybe like make a video for, like I was saying earlier, make a video for to kind of hit home for them. This is what Bitcoin can do for you or whatnot. Yeah.
But like hear me out. Like we all want I think we all want the same things. Like most of us, I should watch my words, but most people don't like going to work for another person that tells them what to do. Okay? That's just a general thing. Most people want more money, just let's call it money. Most people want more freedom. Most people want to be healthier. Most people want to travel. I don't think you
No,
could
no, no,
disagree
no,
with any
no,
of
no. I think that the people want more freedom is almost, I question that.
that.
I
Yeah,
mean,
I know. I know.
it's a tough one, man. Like some people are caught in whether it's they like to be told what to do. That's a good way of putting it. They like direction. They like to be told this, that, and that. I am not that person. You tell me what to do, I'm probably doing the opposite, just
Yeah.
for the record.
Yeah.
But
I get
but
it, girl.
but like some people actually like that, and I can't doesn't make sense to me, but it's a personality thing, I think. I'm not 100% sure. The different personality types. This is a super interesting fact, and I don't know if I brought this up the last podcast. Maybe I did even, can't remember. But the different personality types and how and the percentage of Bitcoiners. This has been floating around X for a while now. The percentage of Bitcoiners that are a certain personality type, INTJ, that personality type, whatever that stands
I
for.
know that. I
Yeah,
know.
you
Yeah.
know this. You know
Oh,
this.
I
You've
know.
seen it on X. I'm sure you've seen it on X.
I've
But
seen it in lots of
that's
people's backgrounds.
that's my personality type, and that is 30% of people with that personality type are Bitcoiners. 30%. And yet 5% of the population, I think no, it's 2.5% of the population has that personality type. I think it's something like that. I could have my numbers a little wrong, but it's a small percentage of the population with that personality type. But of those people, it's a humongous percent that are Bitcoiners. And it goes to other personality types where it's a huge percentage of the population, like percent, whatever it is, and there's zero Bitcoiners, like arguably zero in that personality type, which is also fascinating to me. How that
Mhm.
how because like I say, everybody comes to Bitcoin through their own, like there has to be something that relates to them in it, in my opinion. Now that kind of then if the personality types are all some don't even there aren't any Bitcoiners in some of these personality types, then maybe that isn't the case. Maybe people are just lucky with their personality type. I don't know. Maybe it's a bit of more luck than we think it is.
Yeah, no, 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 I feel you. So I got one question to kind of finish off the pod here. It's a magical question, and there is no right answer. I just heard it the other day. How many people in the world do you think own a full Bitcoin?
Oh, it's not a big number.
So I'll tell you
I have
tell
seen
you the number, but tell me your stats.
I
I'll tell
have
you mine.
seen the stats on this,
Me too.
but I don't know what I couldn't tell you what that is. It's not many.
So I'll tell you what I heard the other day, and I think you might question my math, but or what I heard, but it's roughly about 1 million people.
Yeah, that would be what I'd say. That
Yeah.
that would make sense.
No, no, like if you just go like by the blockchain, like you could actually just see how many wallets have
One.
1 Bitcoin or more. Like it's not complicated.
Oh,
This
okay.
is like
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
mathematics. This
That's
is
right. Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
this is
Yeah.
just math. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like it's like 1 point something million. But here's the question I have for you. This is the real question.
Okay, yeah.
Is that let's say there was 1 million wallets that have one full Bitcoin in them. Okay. Do you not think that many of the millionaires or Bitcoiners out there that wouldn't they have several wallets with more than one Bitcoin?
Obviously, yeah.
So so therefore the number might not even be 1 million. It might only be 600,000, 800,000,
Probably not that high.
500,000.
If
So
there's if there's a
that's how early we are.
if there's literally 1 million wallets with one Bitcoin in them, but or more, but the reality of it is too, then you could look at it the opposite way where 500 where there could be 2 million wallets with half a Bitcoin in them or more, right? Or 4
Correct.
million.
Yep. Yeah, this is just more than this is.
Yeah, but just hold on a second. A couple people or a person could have a couple of those wallets as well. So I would say probably 1 million is probably a good bet. Maybe even 1.5 million. I don't know. Like it's a hard thing to say because I guarantee you anybody holding self custody, if you have a Bitcoin, you have it probably split up into multiple wallets. If you have more than a Bitcoin, I would say. I mean,
I
if
would say
there's
too.
a
I
there's
would,
a
yeah,
good
totally.
chance.
So when you do the math, though, like let's just do the math. I don't know if you have a calculator handy, but put 1 million into what are we going to call the population? 7.5 billion right now. I'm interested to hear what this math is because I haven't actually done them, but
Billion.
it's just Yeah, 1 million into, well, you'd have to go the other way around, 7.5 billion into 1 billion,
It's eight.
into 1
It's
million. Yeah, 8 billion. That's kind of the number I heard too.
well, it's 1 in 8,000. Yeah, 1 in 8,000. If 1 million people,
Well, what's the percentage?
1 in 8,000. That's not good enough for you.
I don't know what the percentage of 1 in 8,000 is. Is that like a quarter of a 1%? I mean, I don't know. I don't know why I'm asking you, but I just thought this was interesting thought experiment.
Should be one. Should be it's like 0.012%.
That's how early
0.012%.
we are.
Yeah, 1 in 8,000. I look at 1 in 8,000 is easier for. So if you live in a city of 800,000, there's 100 people. There's 100 people, right?
So there's only 100 people in Edmonton, roughly, then? Because we live in a city of like 1.5
Well,
million. So let's call
1.6.
it
It's one
200
point
people.
one. Yeah. So I mean, say 1,200 people. 1,200
That's
people.
crazy.
Yeah, that is crazy, man. That's truly, yeah,
That's why
wild.
we
I
made
mean,
this podcast, is to
yeah.
hopefully get to
Now,
the next person.
now, when you're in the West, it's gonna be a greater percentage because obviously people in
Sure.
Africa
Yeah.
they don't have the wealth, right? So,
But you know where I'm going
but
with that.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
just,
no, I mean,
we're
it's
so early. We're so early, bro. Like one day our kids will look back at this podcast and go, wow,
yeah,
thanks, Dad.
yeah, no,
Thanks,
crazy.
Dad, for putting in the work.
Yeah, hopefully, yeah,
Hey, the only thing that can bring you legacy is a Bitcoin.
it's definitely one of the big ones for sure.
Yeah. So,
No, yeah, yeah, for
cold,
sure.
cold storage,
Yeah, self custody, man, self custody, one
self
hundred
custody.
percent, 100%. Yeah,
Okay, well, the price of Bitcoin is, as we finish the day, 118,002 American cuck.
there you go.
I'm going to pause this now and have a great night, everyone.
Alrighty, yeah, see ya.